Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to Channel Rockaritaville. I'm your hostess, El Rock, and we are here to do your weekly general timeless reading for the sun, moon, and rising sign of Scorpio. As always, Scorpio, this is a general reading, so if I don't pull your story out today, why don't you take a look at the moon and rising signs? So, your moon and rising sign on the channel, there might be something there for you as well. So, and then let's see. Finally, I want to thank my new and returning subscribers and all of those of you who've just dropped into the channel to check it out. Thank you so much. Your likes, your subscribes, and your comments all help the channel to grow. So, thank you for helping me on my journey by being here. So let's take a look. Let's get started. The overarching or the most influential energy in the week ahead is what we're going to look at, Scorpio, and then we're going to unpack the story around that energy. So we're looking for Scorpio's most influential energy for the week ahead, please. Scorpio, most influential energy for the week ahead. How are you deciding, Scorpio? Scorps. There you go. There's one. Aww. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So your most influential energy that came out is the medicine of Hawthorn. We're focusing on earth medicine, so we are using the illustrated herbiary and the illustrated bestiary decks, which are plant and animal medicine decks. And so Hawthorn talks about being heart's home. So Scorpio, I think you're somebody's heart's home here. The hawthorn tree is a portal or a gateway to something higher. And I can see here, Scorps, that you've got your roots sort of tapped into your emotional waters. That whoever sees you as a heart's home, or whoever it is that is your heart's home, just kind of brings you everything, right? They're the sun. You've climbed. I want to get that you've been through mountains with this, Scorpio. You've climbed mountains for whatever this is. Perhaps it's a job situation. Perhaps it's a personal situation. And then you've also had really, easy journeys where it was just a straight line, and there's been a lot of different aspects with this is whatever this is, it's old, Scorpio. And there's the energy of somebody seeing you as a safe place, a safe harbor, a place where, when you're going through all these different journeys in your life, that at the end of the day, you've got heart's home here with Hawthorn. You are also black snake here. You're growing your truth, Scorpio. You're reinventing yourself. And I get here with this spine going up that that you've increased your strength, that you've grown a spine, so to speak. Scorpio, maybe you've had challenges in the past with maybe being a bit of a doormat and letting people walk over you. But whatever this is, I'm really getting a sense of the spine here and the fortitude of it. The fact that, Scorpio, you aren't. So while this is really about Black Snake, I'm really getting this. You're not sort of wishy-washy and bending all over the place anymore where you once did that. I think that the truth that you've grown is the truth of who you are, the truth of not being a jellyfish, the truth of expanding into something greater, of being. I get a sense, Scorpio, that you with this black snake, that you've also had to learn to embody your shadow side, right? Scorpio, maybe you are a little bit too sunshine and roses and rainbows and unicorns, and really that there's a shadow side that you've learned how to harness, is what I'm hearing. That you are, that it's something in you that you've tamed, that you are all of this now, Scorpio, and you have grown your truth. And with that, you have shed old skins that no longer serve you. And by doing that, you're creating space for something greater. And the space that you're this space that you're opening up, and create space can be really, really practical, right? This is clutter clearing. This is getting rid of emotional baggage, which means that there's usually some work to do there if you're getting rid of emotional baggage, counseling, and things like that, you know. But Scorps, you're creating space for whatever's coming next for you, for this heart's home. And I get a sense that this might be love. We don't have enough cards out yet to really know that for sure. But perhaps, you know, you are somebody's love, and that you're creating space for that. You're clearing out old belief systems and old feelings about yourself and old feelings about relationships, or old feelings about, you know, all women are like this or all men are like that. Whatever that is, you're creating space so that the new can come in for you. One more card, please. Okay. Yeah, light in the darkness. St. John's wort. Have you been a little, are you, so you might be a little bit down in the week ahead. Normally how these are is we have the overarching, the past, present, and future energy, but energy's dynamic. So depending on your story, it can be all of those things. So what we have here, the other cards that came out, find your element, steady on. We've got two turtles here, and shapeshift, red fox, and time. Oops, stone down. Now, what I love about the sea turtle, find your element, is we have a tortoise on the ground and we have a turtle in the water. The turtle in the water does not have the ability to swim backwards. And with that, that keeps sea turtle in forward motion always. In addition to that, I see here like the earth on the surface, right? And yet sea turtle is in the sea underwater. We have all of this life and all of this abundance surrounding you, Scorpio, and sea turtle, tortoise, the common tortoise, steady on, means that you're continuing on this journey. So you're swimming forward. You're finding your place in the world, Scorpio, and you're comfortable with yourself. You carry it with you. You might have a little bit of a shell. You are a Scorpio, so you do have a little bit of an exoskeleton there. And with that, it's a form of protection for you. And you know, it just looks like you're staying the course here. Additionally, with red fox, with shapeshift, you have shifted into a new version of yourself, Scorpio. You've left this old skin behind. You've shed that. You grew your backbone. You know how to stand up for yourself. You're in a process of stabilizing it with being steady on your feet and moving forward, finding your place. And literally with time, the medicine of time, you've gone within, right? With the labyrinth, it talks about the journey that you've done, Scorpio, from the inside out. And by starting here in the center and working your way out, I know it's supposed to be outside in, but you've already been here, right? And now you're finding your way back out through the labyrinth. You found that essential part of yourself, Scorpio, and you can, with this, shapeshift at will. You can harness your shadow without doing it in a negative, ugly way. And that's really interesting, Scorpio, because we all know that, we Scorpios are known for being vindictive, jealous, a little bit on the angry side. We're also exceptionally loyal, kind, compassionate. You've never met a more dedicated person, right? And what you've done is you've learned to balance that you can shift in and out. One might call it shifting out of an archetype, right? And so it looks to me, Scorps, like you've mastered that. You're creating space. And this light in the darkness with St. John's wort, I'm wondering if this isn't associated with Heart's home. I want to say that this is an outside influencing energy. And I know that this is your most overarching energy. But I'm like, well, we just really need to get more cards, is what we really need to do. So why don't we do that? So it looks like you've been on quite a journey, and that you're continuing it. And yeah, spirit into matter. I think you've got something coming in. This might be a new job, a new person, whatever it is. I think that you've got something extra kind of coming in here on the side at the tail end of your week, Scorps. Because you've got spirit into matter. That means you've manifested something. Can we get a little bit more clarification, please, for Scorpio for the week ahead? Our shape-shifting, growing, staying the course Scorpio, who is Heart's home for somebody. Scorps, what else do you want to share with us? What other guidance do we have for Scorpio for the end of the week? Excuse me, for the week ahead, rather. Guidance for Scorpio for the week ahead. Guidance for Scorpio for the week ahead. All right. So it looks like you're going to be working with somebody. You're going to be working together in collaboration with somebody, Scorpio. A King of Cups, somebody who's emotionally grounded and steady, somebody who's responsive, somebody who wants to work with you, who's interested in hearing your ideas and your thoughts, Scorpio. At the bottom of the deck, we have Visionary, the Prince of Wands. So this is somebody who's very passionate, a lot of drive coming towards you, Scorpio. All right, so we have Collapse, the Six of Swords in reverse, and we have the Passion card, which is the Strength card in traditional tarot. So with the Six of Swords, what in the upright position, which Scorpio, this is all energy, right? So you're getting what we will call the trailer to your week, or the preview of the movie of your week. And what that means is that if this is not past energy or energy that you're currently in, that it's energy that's transmutable and changeable. Now, in the reverse position, there's been a collapse, right? We see basically the patch on his head, and it looks like he's taken a hit in his sacral chakra, right? That foundation, that I want to the sacral is the sex center, right? So in regards to relationships, things like that, and there's been a collapse and patches upside down. And I would think that if the collapse has happened, it's because the Strength card, or the Passion, has been translated in an unhealthy way. So the way that you can switch this into an ascension, Scorpio, and create the sense of rising and ascending up versus the idea of falling and collapsing on yourself, is by harnessing that strength over your base desires, Scorps. So, Six of Swords in reverse. Something didn't work out well, and it took a lot of strength for you. It obviously took a tremendous amount of strength because this black snake is, it's no joke. I've, while I've seen the spine here on this card for the entirety that I've had the deck, I've never had it translate itself in this way. And growing a backbone, Scorpio, is not an easy thing to do if you've been taught or you've been raised in a way where it is your job to satisfy the needs of other people. And when you're constantly satisfying the needs of other people, Scorpio, it depletes and empties you. And when you get depleted and you get emptied, you collapse in on yourself with that. So be mindful that that's an energy that's around this week, and that you're really being called to harness your strength and to tap into all of the things that you've already done to stabilize what you've already achieved, Scorps. So let's see what else we have here. We have the Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning. You're thinking it's swords is the mind space. It came out sideways, and so we're going to read it both ways. That you have a realization coming in, first of all, a deeper understanding, that first seed of thought. And I think that has something to do with your light and the darkness here. So that realization or that moment of intuition or insight. Now, in the reversed position, it's a sense of uncertainty. And that's where, with your St. John's wort, that cage comes in, okay? When you're in the reversed position, Scorpio, with the Ace of Swords, it keeps you in that cage. And to be able to set yourself free and get it out of the sideways position and choose your upright position, it's making space for that realization to come in and to allow for it to grow. Your initial thought may not be your end thought. It's just the seed that's going to take you where you want to go, which is, this springtime. It's out of a winter, and it's into the flowers and a higher state of consciousness. Again, you might be a little bit down in the dumps here at the tail end of the week, Scorpio. I think that a lack of understanding has left you a little bit frustrated and confused, and yet you have persevered with this common tortoise. You've continued forward. You may have looked back, but you could never swim backwards because you're not capable of doing that, Scorpio. You're always in a state of evolution there, okay? And then we have the Queen of Discs, or the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is somebody who is more dependent than independent, right? Normally in the upright position, the Queen of Pentacles is very supportive. She's very stable. I kind of view her sort of like a lesser version of the Empress, very similar qualities: nurturing, mothering, supportive, giving. And then in the reverse position, which is what's happening here, this queen is feeling maybe a little bit codependent on other people's points of view, on other people's validation, maybe financial needs. Maybe you're feeling dependent financially because discs or pentacles does refer to money. So there's a dependency here, Scorpio, that I don't think that you're entirely happy with. And what you can do is you can turn that upright by looking at ways in which you, Scorpio, may be more supportive of yourself, and or the outlying situations that are trying to come in to support you. So making yourself available rather than perhaps stuck in dependency. All right. And then we talked about this. Where are we for time? 20 minutes? I think we can get a couple more cards. Anything? Let's find out about Heart's Home. Let's just really clarify that. All right. So Heart's Home, the Aeon, which is the Judgment card, and this is in reverse. So there's a regression here, Scorps. So whatever this Heart's Home energy is for you, it looks like you've gone a little bit backwards, and I think that's why you're trying to. That's why you're being called to create space. Something, I feel like something's happened in your mind space. Let's get a little bit more. Why has there been a regression with the Aeon? With Heart's Home. Oh, the Hierophant. Okay. So yeah, there might have been a little bit of a spiritual disconnect. I think perhaps Scorps, you might have lost some faith in something, and you're turning your focus elsewhere. So whatever this is, just stay your course. Um, Judgment talks about when it's in the upright position. The Aeon talks about how Patch is ascending through a portal, through a nexus point, right? And when it comes into reverse, what that means, Scorpio, is that you hit a threshold. You hit that point where you passed through to the other side, and then you didn't stabilize the energy. So it's almost like it spits you back out, right? So you can't. You see how small that is? How small that passage is for you to truly fall into your heart space, Scorpio, and transcend and be reborn and resurrect. And so whatever's happened, whether it's a regression with somebody else or a regression with you, something happened where it was meeting its apex, or that point of ascension, and then it went backwards. So and it's on the spiritual side. It is spirituality. So that's a little bit more about Heart's Home. Anything else want to pop out? How about Light in the Darkness, St. John's Wort? Would you like to? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you walked away from something. You abandoned something, Scorpio, and or maybe somebody walked away from a situation with you here. Could be a Pisces. One of the things that I really want to point out here is in this deck that not all eight of the cups are here, right? We've got 5 cups that have been left behind. We're leaving the dry desert landscape. The cups are used up. But this patch begins this long road through the mountains with the thoughts of these 3 cups, right? Think of the 3 of Cups, the celebration, the joy, the fortitude, all of that goodness that's coming for you. And this light in the darkness, that's what these 3 cups are for you, Scorps. So whatever it is that you walked away from or somebody else walked away from, there's hope of a new beginning here with these 3 cups, but it needed to be done, Scorpio. It looks like there was no nourishment emotionally here for you at all. Look at how empty those cups are. There's no water there at all. Anything else? Light in the Darkness, St. John's Wort. All right, one more. Yep, Prince of Swords. So just really being kind of cerebral, being meditative, being quiet in the week ahead, Scorpio. You're making space at home. You have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. You're bringing in that structure. You're being an authority figure in your own life. You have literally distilled and dissected every aspect of yourself that I can see, Scorpio. You've shape-shifted. You've reinvented yourself. And there's really, you're in a time of preparation, it looks like to me, with creating space, light in the darkness, still having that sunshine in the cage a little bit, with some feelings of maybe just not feeling awesome right now, which is completely understandable because we're in the middle of coronavirus and it's a difficult time. So yeah, dreams, opportunity, and silence. So we're just taking a look at how you can care for yourself in the week ahead, Scorpio. And the first thing that you're being guided to do here is to go into a state of silence. So this heart's home may just be you needing to be your own heart's home and going into a state of repair. And with that, it says, rest your mind. Silence is good self-care. So we do have you here in this Prince of Swords, the cerebral state. We also had that seed of a new beginning with the Ace of Swords, which is all mind space. So, be aware that you are asked to also silence your mind in the week ahead. If your thoughts are becoming too much for you, Scorpio, it's time to back down a little bit and just be quiet with them and allow for a while. We also have dreams here. So it says, think big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams. I don't really get the sense that this is a full-on romantic relationship. I think that you're in a space of evolution and change, Scorpio, in which you're getting your feet under you. You're getting your sea legs, so to speak, that you're learning how to stand your ground, walk in your confidence. You're creating space so the new things can come. So that these dreams, again, you can see here that we have this woman, a woman in a state of rest in both of these. And then finally, once you arise from your rest, you've got this star, this new hope here, this faith that your opportunity is out there and that you are going to open your arms. You are opening your arms. You have to rest, Scorpio, to be able to take the next steps, right? You can't go and go and go and go and always get results. You are being called into a time of nurturing yourself, digging into your spirituality, finding what builds you up, and then understanding that you can follow those opportunities towards the end of the week. Release your ties to the past. When you let go of the old, you make room for the new. And again, that goes back to creating space here. So you're cleaning stuff out in the week ahead, Scorps. Your guidance is just, steady on, rest when you need it, dream about what's coming next because you're in the creation process of it. You're in the early stages of it. And then let's see, where are we at? 28 minutes. Let's grab one more card. All right. Final self-care card for the week ahead. Relaxation. Allow yourself to be lazy. It's okay to do nothing. Scorpio, you have permission to take care of yourself in the week ahead, to put your priorities first, to create that space for the dreams that you're manifesting and the shape-shifting badass that you are. You've recreated yourself, Scorpio, and there's not much in terms of negative cards here that can't be turned upright. And you have the essence of yourself here. You've recreated yourself and you're moving forward in who you are now. So you're in a stabilization process as well. All right, Scorps, that's it for this week. I love you. Much joy in your week ahead, and rest and relaxation as well. See you next time.